Hey everyone, welcome to another video by Python Pool. Let's continue our series with Matplotlib in Python. Today we're going to see how we work with text in Matplotlib, how we add text to the graph and also place that text according to our needs, according to colors we want to give, the background color, the foreground color, everything, the equations, how could we give that. We'll see everything about the text in Matplotlib. There are certain properties which we could add in the text function or annotate function in Matplotlib. We could give the text, we could give the X label, Y label, you know how we could give that. We could also give the title, figure title, and the subtitle also. So that's all we'll be covering in this video. Every text we could work with, we'll be working with in the today's video. So let's see how we define this type of video, as we are covering every type of text, the title text, the label text, the color text, in fact the annotations, the equations, and the color and the text with background color. So let's see in Python how we define the program like this. Okay, there my file is ready. Now I'm just going to import some of the functions, required modules. First of all, we need a pyplot module, so let's import that one as plt, and then we need a numpy module also, so let's import that module also as np. Now I'm just going to define the figure and axis using the plt functions, plt.figure, and after that I'm just going to give the axis in the ax variable, so fig.add axis, and just pass the default values for it, that is 0 0 and 1 and 1. Okay, I've passed the default values. Now I'm just going to set the title. Well, setting the titles and the labels is not new for you because you have already done that. I'm just setting the dummy title. Now after setting the title, let's set the X label and Y label. So we have seen that this type of text, but we haven't seen how we give the color text or how we give the annotations. All that we'll be covering it. Don't worry, we'll be covering everything. So X label, I'm just going to give it as X label, and same for the Y label also. So let me just copy it and just change some of the words here. Just change this X to Y and this X to Y. So that's it, that's okay. Now I'm just going to give the text, so just call the text function, and in the place I'm just going to give the x-axis at 3, y-axis at 8, and now I'm just going to give the font, that is, it should be boxed and font should be italics, and the text in data coordinates. Okay, this should be my text, and then I'm just going to give the style to it, that is nothing but the italic. So what I'm going to print, that is nothing but the box italic text in data coordinates, and the style would be the italic style. And after giving the style, I'm just also going to give the box. So let's define the b box, and after defining the b box, I'm just going to define a dictionary which would contain the face color. So face color would be the key and value would be red. So I want the background color as red. Okay, so that's it, that's from text. So we defined the red text we saw. Now I'm just going to define another text without any background color, contain the equation. So how we could print the equation in the Matplotlib graph. So I'm just also going to call text function once again. This time the 2 would be the value for x-axis and 6 would be the value for y-axis, and then I'm just going to give the r property. Then I'm just going to give it here, that is, it is an equation. So an equation, and when we are working with the equation, we use the dollar sign. So how would we using that? I'm just going to give it here dollar. So once I start dollar, my Python would understand that I'm going to give the equation, and once I add the dollar, it would understand that I'm going to end the equation right here. So encapsulated in this both equations, dollar signs, the equation is present according to Python. And now I'm just going to give the font size to it. So let's maintain the font size, not 20. so much big. Let's give the font size as 15 pixels. Okay, that's it. Now I'm just going to give the plot function. So we'll be plotting the graphs, and I'm just going to give some default calculated values. You can play around with these values. That's totally your choice, and the color would be nothing but the O. Okay, O. Now I'm just going to give the annotate. So it would be pointing to the graph. Okay, and the heading would be the annotate, or the text, you could say, whatever you would like to say. And then I'm just going to give the XY values. So let's give it together, that is 2 and 1. Once again guys, this is my purely calculated values. You could always play around with this value or use this one itself. That's totally depends on you. Text I would give at the position 3 and 4. And what text I'm just going to give, let's give some arrow properties also. So for this I'm just going to use the dictionary, and after using the dictionary I'm just going to give some key values. Like I'm just going to set the face color. Face color I'm just going to set as black, or I'm just going to give it equal to, and then the shrink value would be 0.05. So this is my annotation. Now I'm just going to give some of the axis for the graph. So let's call the axis function and give the axis as 0, 10, 0 and 10. That is my axis. And now at last I'm just going to call the show function, and we are ready to show the graph. Let's see if it runs fine. And yes, it runs perfectly fine. Our text is going to show us, the equation is already going to show us, annotation is also working, the arrow is also working. So everything is working perfectly fine. There is nothing left. Okay guys, that's it from this video. Hope you're having a great day ahead. Thank you. Let it go, make my body go, take our bodies high.